Before I officially begin my journey, I have to tell my mom that I'm leaving and I won't be home for some time. Okay, with that done, this is where you're introduced to the saving system. So, just like in Crystal, if you want to, you can send some of your prize money to your mom and she'll save it and occasionally buy some things for you, which you pick up from someone at a Pokemart. And just like in Crystal, I'm gonna say no to this option. I'll talk more about why I said no to this option some other time. Now, I believe you give her 25% of your prize money every time you win some, so that's something to think about. Okay, here you have the option of withdrawing or depositing your money just like at a bank, or you have the option of turning the saving system on or off. Now, as for the items she buys for you with your money, I'll talk more about those items some other time because right now I'm entering Route 29, and Lyra is here because she's going to teach me how to catch a Pokemon. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, this was done by a random guy, and you even had the option to turn it down. But here, you don't get an option. Well, I guess that makes sense because maybe this is your first Pokemon game and you don't know how to catch a Pokemon, which is why Lyra is here, to show you how. Okay, all she's doing is hopping up and down in the grass with her Meryl, not much of an exclamation. Okay, now she's going to be a bit more thorough with her exclamation. Psych, not really. Thank you, Drano. So the game is just going to cut right to her giving me some Pokeballs. Now, I believe she gives me 15 Pokeballs as opposed to 5 in the original Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which is good because you can never have too many Pokeballs. And I'm also going to put these Pokeballs to good use right now, since I'm looking for 2 Pokemon in particular, not to use on my team. It's for something later on. No, Zigzagoon is not one of them. Well, hopefully I find those 2 Pokemon that I'm looking for, although that's easier said than done, because I don't know the encounter rates for all the Pokemon in this game. So, I could be at this for a while. Okay, good. Zigzagoon goes down in 1 hit, even though I don't think I really need that critical hit. So, I'll be back when I find one of those 2 Pokemon that I'm looking for. Okay, here's one of the Pokemon I'm looking for. Sentret. So, I'm catching a Sentret for not only HM purposes, but for breeding purposes as well. Which is why I was specifically looking for a male Sentret. Yeah, sure, it got a critical hit on me, but that's okay because it's better that it gets the critical hit and not me. So, since its catch rate is pretty high, I'm for sure gonna catch it. Just like that. Alright, what do we have to say about Sentret in this game? I assume it's the same Pokedex entry I've seen so many times? Yep, I figured as much. And now to find the other Pokemon I want. Bidoof is one of the best HM users out there. So since it's available early in the game, I gotta use it. Okay, good, it's right that tackle. Now, in the original Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I would have to wait a lot later in the game to encounter Bidoof. But not this time. And yes, as you can see, Chikorita is now at level 13 because yes, it did take quite a while for me to find a Bidoof. Although, from what I read, apparently Bidoof has a 10% appearance rate during the morning time and the daytime. But when it's nighttime, that chance increases to 15%. And you know what's weird about that? It's the fact that I actually encountered a few Wurmples along the way, and even then, those things have a 5% appearance rate during the morning time and the daytime. Yeah, I found a few Wurmples, but I had some trouble finding a Bidoof. I don't get it either. Oh yeah, originally, there was supposed to be a cuttable tree somewhere over here, but looks like that's been taken out in this game, along with some other cuttable trees, which I guess is good since it makes a pretty decent shortcut. Now, I will admit, originally, I was going to wait until nighttime to find a Bidoof, since I said that its appearance rate is slightly higher when it's nighttime, but I managed to find that Bidoof I just captured, right as I was about to go through with those intentions. So yeah, looks like I won't have to wait until it's nighttime after all, which is good. Okay, I'm back here on Route 30 because now that I've taken care of everything I can do at this point, I can now head up that pathway that was previously blocked off. And while I'm doing that, why don't I talk about why I said no to Mom's savings not too long ago? So it goes like this. It's because I don't see much of a point in having this function activated. Sure, you can withdraw money whenever you want, but if I really want to make money, then I'll just stick the Antling coin on one of my Pokemon. But I won't be getting that item for some time, which is still okay with me. And as for the items your mom buys for you, those items consist of a Repel, a Silk Scarf, a Super Potion, a Moonstone, a Hyper Potion, the Choice Scarf, the Muscle Band, the Focus Sash, and any of those damage-reducing berries. And then there's that one berry that weakens an opposing normal type attack. Okay, I'm about to fight the very first regular trainer in this game, this guy. He's one of the best known trainers in the series. You know him? You love him? Youngster Joey. So, I'll be taking on his top percentage Rattata. Now, what's so special about his Rattata? Well, I heard that it has max IV, something that it shares with Cynthia's Garchomp. How do I know about this? Well, I'm not sure actually, must have heard from somewhere. So yeah, apparently this thing has max IVs. Yeah, I'll slice this level, so yeah, so no chance. Okay, now that the battle's over, Youngster Joey is going to offer me his number, which I'll gladly accept, especially since I can now store an infinite amount of phone numbers in my Pokégear. Unlike before, back in Crystal, where I can only store up to 10 numbers in my Pokégear. Yeah, I don't know whose bright idea it was to program the Pokégear like that. Okay, good luck with that. Alright, what do we have here? Yes, everyone should know that. And everyone should know that too. Oh, hold on a second, this trainer. You look like a new trainer. Well, I ought to say the same thing about you. And by that I mean, yeah, this person, she's only exclusive to this game. Aroma Lady Julia. Yeah, in the original Heart Gold Soul Silver, and I guess Gold Silver Crystal as well, I believe this person was supposed to be a youngster. Now back to mom savings for a second. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, when your mom buys you something, assuming the saving system is active, the items she buys for you are sent to your PC. And some of those items include dolls. Which is why I said no back in Crystal, since I have no use for dolls, and it was basically a waste of money. Yeah, I'm not sure whose bright idea it was to have your mom buy you dolls. I mean, what are you supposed to do with those things anyway? Okay, moving on to something else. I think it's high time I explain why I chose Chikorita as my starter. So it goes like this. Once Chikorita evolves at level 16, it will be 2 levels away from learning Reflect, which will definitely help me out at the first gym, since it is a flying type gym. But that doesn't mean Chikorita's going to stay with me until the post game. I only chose it since it learns a move that can help me against the first gym, something that the other two probably can't do. Especially since every gym leader in this game has a full team of 6. Yes, just like in Renegade Platinum. So yes, Reflect will definitely help me out against Faulkner's team of 6. Well, at least I hope it can, since Reflect can only help me out for so long. As for the other two, well, I guess maybe Cyndaquil can do something with Smokescreen, although I'm not really sure how far they'll get you. As for Totodile, well, I'm not really sure if it could solo the first gym by itself. But yeah, once Chikorita, well actually, once it evolves into Bayleaf and learns Reflect, hopefully I have an easier time with Faulkner, since I'm kind of going at there at a disadvantage. Grass Whistle, well, that could actually help me out against the first gym, but one problem. Grass Whistle has an accuracy of 55, and that might probably screw me over in a way, so I'm going to pass on Grass Whistle. Alright, what do you have to say? Yeah, I think I know from experience. Okay, what do you have to say? Yes, everyone should know that. While we're on the subject of team members, I'm actually coming up on one of my team members in not too long, Zubat. Yeah, I'm approaching the Dark Cave, and that's where I can find a Zubat. But one problem. In this game, Zubat comes with 2 abilities, either Inner Focus or Anticipation. And I don't have anything on me that can tell me whether or not Zubat has Inner Focus or Anticipation. So if I encounter a Zubat, yeah, I have to catch it, and if it has Anticipation, then I'll just release it, and hopefully I can find another one. Okay, this trainer, I believe she's also exclusive to this game. I want to say she was the last trainer back in the original games, but I'm not sure actually. She could have been a youngster as well. Oh well. So yeah, Zubat is going to be my first team member. Now, normally I would wait until later because I would like to have a Zubat with Hypnosis on it. But in this game, I believe Zubat learns Hypnosis leveling up, which is good. So as far as other Pokemon go in the Dark Cave, I believe you can find Pokemon like Geodude, Bronzor, Slugma, Makuhita, Sandshrew, Larvitar. Well, to tell you the truth, I do want to use a Larvitar, but I'm not going to try and find one in the Dark Cave because it only has a 4% appearance rate. Yeah, remember back in Emerald 386 where I spent an eternity trying to find a Ralts? Yeah, that was very torturous. And not only that, Larvitar comes with 2 abilities in this game, either Guts or Battle Armor. And I'll have no way of knowing which ability Larvitar has until I catch it. So, I'm gonna wait until later until I could get to another location where Larvitar is available. Okay, I believe that was the last trainer on Route 30, so now I'm free to go over to Route 31. Okay, I'm just gonna go over here since, who knows, maybe I can find something in the grass that I can fight. Oh, Natsu, huh? Well, that's very unusual. I don't really see Natsu all too much. Yeah, the pathway to the left, originally there was a cuttable tree over there, but, well, I guess, you can go through that pathway if you really want to. I just want to go through here because there's some wild Pokemon here that I can fight. Okay, good thing Confusion didn't confuse me, otherwise that would have been pretty frustrating. Oh, really? Okay, I was about to say I'm home free, but looks like I have to fight another wild Pokemon. Oh, look, another Wurmple. Yeah, as I said, I did encounter quite a few of those back on Route 29, and yeah, it was pretty strange since, yeah, its appearance rate is slightly lower than Bidoof's appearance rate. I don't know why that is. Okay, at least it didn't go for Poison Sting. Well, if that did happen and I got poisoned, then that's okay because Natural Kill will kick in and the poison will go away on its own. Okay, here's Dark Cave, but I'm not going to go in there just yet because there's some other things I want to do. Alright, what do we have over here? A potion? Well, okay, I could definitely use that if I really want to. Okay, over here we have a Black Apricorn, or rather, the first of many Black Apricorns that I'm going to collect, since I said that I'm going to collect as many Black Apricorns as I can, so that way I can turn these things into Heavy Balls later on. Okay, this guy, he's involved with some sort of side quest later on involving a Spearow and some mail. But that won't happen until later on in the game. Okay, I'm going to go inside Dark Cave, and hopefully I can find Zubat. Although, I'm not really sure what its appearance rate is, so I could very well be at this for a while. Okay, let me just run around, hopefully I can find a Zubat. Okay, is this Zubat? Nope, you're not Zubat, just a Sandshrew. Well, okay, at least it's something that Chikorita can handle. Especially since, after I defeat the Sandshrew, I assume I'm going to reach level 16, and that means Chikorita is going to evolve right after this battle. Okay, as I said, I'm not really sure what Zubat's appearance rate is, so I could very well be at this for a while. But what's more important is, Chikorita is now at level 16, and now it's going to evolve. That's good. I mean, hey, the more levels I have, the better my chances are of surviving the first gym. Okay, my Chikorita is now a Bayleaf. And since it's now evolved, I believe it's going to learn Nature Power. Which I'm going to delete Tackle for, since Nature Power can actually help me out in a way. Well, it all depends on my environment. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to Tackle and say hello to Nature Power. Okay, I take it this might take a while, so I'm just going to cut away until I eventually find a Zubat. So see you when that happens. 20% appearance rate, my ass. I found practically everything in this cave but Zubat. I found quite a few Dunsparces, and even then, those things have a 4% appearance rate. Hell, I even found a Chingling, which has a 2% appearance rate. Yeah, looks like my luck with finding certain Pokemon is really sour today. But I guess it's not all that bad since at least Bayleaf got a few levels out of the deal. Okay, hopefully one more Razor Leaf puts Zubat's HP in the red or maybe deep in the yellow. Okay, that's the perfect amount of HP for me to start throwing Pokeballs. Oh yeah, I also found a few Larvitars along the way, but I already said why I'm not going to use Larvitar quite yet. Okay, since Zubat's catch rate is pretty high, this Pokeball is a for sure capture. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now hopefully its nature is good as well as its ability, otherwise I'm going to be pretty upset. Alright, what do we have to say about Zubat in this game? Yeah, I've seen that Pokédex entry one too many times. Alright, let's see what Zubat's nature is. Not now, Joey, I'm busy. Impish nature? Oh wow, just like Bayleaf's. And its ability? Okay, Inner Focus on my first try. And yes, as you can see, it already knows Wing Attack, which is good because that's going to come in handy against the wild Pokemon that are outside of this place. Okay, looks like I don't have more time doing things, so I'm going to go back to Cherry Grove City off-screen to heal Zubat, and next time, we continue our trek towards Violet City. See you next time.